Sawyer, Malcolm, hey, congratulations on your new film, Bloat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's, you know what? It's there's one thing to do horror, but then there's another thing to do a J horror, and then there's another thing to do found footage, and you guys got the best of all worlds. But tell us first, what initially drew you that you wanted to be part of Bloat?
For when I got the whole script and I was reading it, it was just like so well written and the story was so unique and compelling. I just like read the whole thing and I was like, this is such an awesome story. And it being, found footage, it was definitely something unique I hadn't done before and something I wanted to try. So yeah, I was very inspired just reading the script.
Malcolm?
Yeah, same with me. I've always loved horror movies and I've always wanted to be in one, so why not pass up the opportunity? Why pass up the opportunity?
Now, is this the first horror movie for both of you? What was that experience like?
For me, it is, yeah.
For me, I've done a horror movie before, and it was really fun, but they were both definitely different, based on, just setting, Bloat being in Japan and it being found footage and screen life and all that. It was really fun and unique, and it was definitely had a lot of new things that I got to do there too.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're such experience. Malcolm, what was that experience like for you for being on set for the first time on a horror project?
Well, obviously it's very different from watching a movie, because nothing feels as real, but it was pretty cool, honestly. I thought it was great to be there right as Sawyer was being creepy and weird. So,
Now, the aspect of found footage is always unique because found footage started like 20 years ago with a whole bunch of movies, and then I want to say Timir, the producer of your guys' film, has actually perfected as an art. Can you guys tell us about acting with the cameras in terms of found footage, how that experience was unlike other projects that you have done before?
for me, it was very interesting because there were a few scenes where I actually had to hold the camera. For instance, the scene where we were eating dinner with our grandparents, I had like this little thing with a camera that was I could hold in my hand like a phone, and I've never done anything like that before, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, for me it was definitely unique in some ways with like how everything was positioned and framed, and it was unique to watch and definitely cool and a cool experience. But also for a lot of my scenes, I was still acting with the other people, so I didn't necessarily have to change how I would act, but it was just really cool to witness how it was done.
I'm curious. So who you guys are interacting against when you're talking against the camera? Was it the director Pablo or some other voice? Because I don't think Ben McKenzie was on the other line, right?
Um, not in all instances, but sometimes we would have times where like we would read it through with the other actors just to get a feel for how we would each be doing it. So like over Zoom, if I were to have stuff to say with Ben, we would have run it beforehand and figured out how we were each going to say it, so that when we were doing it on Zoom, we were just able to we already had the rhythm out of it, and we were able to just act as if we were actually talking.
Yeah, he pretty much said it all. We just had pre-rehearsals and we were able to kind of figure out how it was going to flow beforehand.
Now, being in a horror movie with something like this, it's very challenging mentally, to get into your character. So I'll start with you, Malcolm. Getting into your character where you're trying to save your brother. How did you get into that mentally for yourself?
Well, it was pretty simple, honestly. I just kind of imagined how I myself would act in situations like this where my brother is like acting like I've never seen him before, and like I imagine my own brother in this situation, and I love my brother, I care about him, so I just kind of envision myself in the role and played it how I would play it because Steve is a smart man.
and do anything for his brother. Sawyer, in your mental capacity, you basically play two different people in its own way. Tell us about the challenges of playing, you know, the child and a possessed child all in one film.
For me, it was, with Kyle, when it's just, him being Kyle before he's with the Kappa and everything. He's just a normal kid, so he's pretty easy to relate to and pretty easy to act. But when it comes to the Kappa, like the Kappa is fully taking him over, and I had like no way of really knowing how a Kappa would act or move. So what I decided to go with was just, I can't try and apply human emotions or characteristics to it, and so I just tried to, act as otherworldly and strange and, tried to pretty much do the opposite of what I would normally do when acting as the Kappa. So I just sort of spend time trying to get in the mindset of something unhuman like a Kappa. So that way I felt, pretty used to it by the time I actually had to start filming it. So yeah.
So did it take a lot of energy to for you to unleash, certain rage scenes in this film?
Um, it definitely took a lot of energy, but I just sort of had to go for it. So when I get to the scene, I just tried, I just, maybe drink some water before it and just, get ready and try and give it as much as I could.
Honestly, for the both of you, have you heard of a Kappa before this film? Did you get into any research, digging deep, just like the character in this film?
I looked it
Uh,
up a little bit before, yeah, and I think I had heard of it once, but I'm not sure when.
Yeah, I think I had read it in Harry Potter, or it was
That's
like
right.
in some Harry Potter
Yeah,
video game I played one time, but I didn't really know anything about it. I just thought it was really cool. So when it came to actually like having to do the copy for the thing, I definitely had to, research it and figure out what it was like. But I think it's a really cool monster and a brilliant idea to have it sort of center around a horror film.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure this Kappa is very different from anything out of Harry Potter. That's for certain.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know where the production actually happened. By chance, did you guys was this produced in Japan for both of you?
Yeah,
yep,
we actually got to go to Japan and it was really awesome. The food
yeah,
was so delicious, and we got to see some really cool places like Mount Fuji, Shinto temples, go in these really huge buildings.
yeah. I think we filmed. I don't remember how long. We were in New York in January of 2022. I forget how long, but then September we went to Japan, and there was a whole bunch of delay because of COVID stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
And during this film production, how they handled it was did it felt kind of creepy to be in that apartment house?
A little
Um,
bit, yeah.
I think it was not quite as scary as it would be in the actual movie to be, in it, but like when I was filming it, it definitely I could tell it was going to be scary and really cool. And the set design was really cool and everything, so I was able to sort of envision it and act as if it was real.
Yeah.
So let me wrap it up with one last question because I'm always fascinated when I'm watching these type of films and then speaking to you and because of the time difference, you are much younger in the film than when it finally gets released. So when you actually watch back yourselves in these films, what do you think about yourselves when you actually watch it back on screen again?
I'm gonna hate it. I mean, I know I'm gonna love the movie. I saw the trailer. I haven't actually seen the movie yet. I'm super excited. I always get so critical when I watch myself, and I know that rationally I shouldn't, but I don't know, I do, and it looks weird. I don't know why.
Sawyer?
Uh, for me, I think I think it's going to be cool, definitely. Also sort of like wow, that was like 3 years ago, and just sort of it'd be cool to see what it was like, all the way back then and sort of relate it to how it is now. I think it's always cool to see myself on screen, you know.
Well said. Well, Sawyer, Malcolm, thank you very much for carrying this conversation with us about Bloat. I guess if you guys haven't seen it, ready to be scared then. So
Hmm.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
later.
much.